Hi, this is Vandana Hari from Vanda Insights in Singapore, coming to you on the 9th of April 2020. It's a big day in the oil markets. An emergency meeting of OPEC and non-OPEC energy ministers is due to convene later today to decide on massive production cuts to offset the demand destruction being wrought by the coronavirus pandemic. Let me share my views and expectations with you by answering 5 key questions in the oil markets right now. First of all, do we expect to see a major cut? I would say the chances of that are looking pretty high right now. The fact that this meeting was not postponed nor cancelled is a positive signal. I would expect that some sort of an informal agreement would already have been forged behind the scenes in recent days. How much of a cut can we expect to see? Well, we had the US President Donald Trump put out a figure of 10 million barrels per day last week as his hoped for and expected cut. He said it could even go as high as 15 million barrels a day. I would expect the OPEC non-OPEC combined to aim for somewhere in that range of 10 to 15 million barrels a day. What could a combine of OPEC and non-OPEC participants in a new agreement look like? Well, we've had Saudi Arabia and Russia in recent days demand that the US participate by cutting its own production. While I don't expect the US to contribute by mandating cuts of US oil companies, I think it's interesting that the Department of Energy earlier this week predicted that US production will drop automatically by about 1.6 million barrels per day between January and December this year. It is possible that Saudi Arabia and Russia, the de facto leaders of this OPEC non-OPEC combined, accept that as a US contribution. We could also see the participation of other non-OPEC producers such as Norway, Canada, and Brazil in this new effort to mop up the excess supply in the world. What about the G20 energy ministers meeting tomorrow? I think it's quite interesting. This could provide a forum for Saudi Arabia and some of the other members participating in these cuts to share their concerns and share their reasons for doing so, especially with the consumer countries. G20 not only groups the world's largest 3 oil producers, US, Russia, and Saudi Arabia, but it also includes the world's 10 largest oil consumers, which collectively account for about 60 million barrels per day, or 60% of world oil demand. This meeting could also be a forum for the producers to request the consuming countries to do their part by buying up oil for storage, either commercially or in the strategic reserves. Lastly, where do we see prices going in the event of a 10 to 15 million barrels per day cut? As I'm speaking to you right now in the Asian afternoon, Brent is trading a little over $33 a barrel. I would expect Brent to climb to at least $40 and perhaps stabilize in that range until the pandemic has run its course and starts to die down. I'll come to you with more insights and more views once we have the decision. Thank you for watching.